staying in touch with me and all our little communications problems, and you just hung in there. And all of you young people, it's so good to see you. And Mao Zedong said, you young people, you are like the sun at 8 or 9 in the morning. Our hope is in you. But I just want to say something, because I asked that young brother and sister about the question of the Santa Barbara, Isla Vista, whatever they are, privileged students going to play gangbangers. And so I just wanted to, the young sister just sang a song. I want to open my statements because I just had a, you guys say epiphany. You know how you use that like it's amazing, an epiphany. That's one of your generational words. Everybody has an amazing epiphany all the time. But anyway, I want to say one thing about that whole business of somebody thinking they're going to play a thug and that stuff is funny, because I consider myself to be an outlaw, even though I might not be sagging and I might not have on a do-rag or a grill, but I consider myself to be a thug and an outlaw because I don't have any respect for this reactionary government that has oppressed so many people for so long. So I stand outside of all that. So I just want to dedicate one little 4-line to that concept from one of the people I admire in the current scene, although he hadn't put anything. Oh, actually he has. This is from the Trick Daddy song. The sister singing. She says, just like the soldiers that ain't coming home this year, just like the fellas in prison, we miss you so much for real. What about the children who ran away and ain't coming home today? Now here's a message from coast to coast. And one of them thugs really needed the most, a thug holiday. Now. They can't have no thug holiday. They're not going to be on holiday this weekend. Y'all go on and help them and turn that bad boy out and tell these little privileged people that if they think they're going to roll up somewhere and play gangbanger, we're not going to play, we're going to play the police or something, you know? It's hot out here. You see I wore the wrong clothing, but I'm staying in it because I have no choice. If I look like Beyonce, you know, people talk about the video all the time. If I had Beyonce's body, I'd be out here with something so ugly that you'd be like, I know that old woman is not standing up there doing the bootylicious in the video. So anyway, I want to just say something about the Black Panther Party in terms of what you guys came together in this conference to do, and historically how that relates to today and what you're attempting to do, because I don't want you to leave here just feeling good and high-fiving and low-fiving and whatever else, you know, you might be doing to feel good, because we have to do, you know, Che Guevara, whom we admired in the Black Panther Party as a great hero of revolutionary struggle throughout the world, always said, words are beautiful, but actions are supreme. And so what we do from this point forward is what is important. And you have this moment and you have this ability to do something here that maybe you might not get a chance to do again, because this kind of moment may pass and you'll go out of this school and you'll go on with your life, or some people that you know won't make it, and so forth and so on. So this is a great moment, and we have a great opportunity to make something happen on some of these campuses again, and use the history of something like the Black Panther Party. I just want to say that in order to understand the significance of the Black Panther Party in terms of today's issues of gender, race, class, and so forth and so on that we talk about all the time, and people talk about globalization, people talk about exploitation and so forth, and I know all of you are sophisticated enough to have that language under your belt, but let's talk about it from concrete terms. In order to understand what is the significance of what we're doing here today in the Black Panther Party's history, we have to identify what are the concrete conditions. Looking at black people alone, let's just look at the fact that this country, of course, has the greatest incarceration rate in the world. In the world, 2 million, over 2 million people in the joint, 50% of them are black. How'd that happen? Criminal gene, as some people like to say. What's wrong with black people? Are we gangbanging too much? Too much black on black crime? What's that for? Oh, for my water? Oh, thank you.
He said, what's that for?
Thank you. So you got all these people in prison. And, you know, some people like to say, well, some of them are political prisoners, but we say that of the people who went into prison, a lot of them didn't go in on a political agenda in terms of their consciousness, but all of them are there on a political agenda, the agenda of George Bush and Bill Clinton and the United States government. And that was to find ways to, A, make money off the poor, get rid of populations, but you can't get those people to abort their babies, then lock the rest of them up in the joint, and so forth and so on. This is an agenda that's been in place for over 400 years in the United States of America. So this is not a a new agenda. It's just a flip on the old agenda. So you have all these people in prison. And I just want to mention some of those that are particular, because I'm always working on the case of my little young brother, Little B, about whom I wrote a book. A guy named Michael Lewis went to prison at 13 years old as an adult, is doing life still in the joint, trying to get him out. We have a brother from the Black Panther Party, one of the longest held members of the Black Panther Party, arrested at 19 years old and convicted at 19 years old. In 1969, he has been 38 years in the joint here in the state of California, and we are here to, among other things, hope that people will join in our effort to free Chip Fitzgerald. And because we know about a lot of people, we don't know about Chip Fitzgerald, who has been down 38 years in this state and denied parole for no reason whatsoever. We also want to remember Brother Imam Jamil Al-Amin, who used to be called H. Rap Brown, coming out of Atlanta. We want to remember our brother Sadiq Hassan, who's part of the Lucasville 5 on death row since 1993. These are the kinds of cases. These people live in Harvard right now, and there's something for you to do with respect to the whole prisoner piece. But let's just go on. We black people have the highest poverty rates, only followed by Latinos. And, you know, I want to say something about, well, I'm going to get to immigration in a minute, but you know when these people want to tell you about immigration, they know they're not really talking about immigration questions. That's a Mexican question. Because ain't nobody talking about no French immigrants, okay? Oh, we're so worried the French are going to come in. No, they're here. They've been here. You know, they all got, and then what is this illegal piece? Now, wait a minute. Here, the Native Americans living on this land for 10,000 years. It's beautiful because they protected it. It's been ruined because some other people came in here and ruined it in a matter of a couple hundred years. The Native people had to hold all this stuff is what they protected. Now, you talking about some illegal immigrants. You're going to get on the Nina Pinta and Santa Rita, whatever the hell that was, and come in here and invade this place and kill these people and take over their lands. You had the unmitigated gall to be talking to somebody about some illegal immigrants today. My attitude is, I don't recognize the law, so there's nobody can be illegal. Whosoever will, let him come. We need some help up in here anyway. And they need to get paid when they get here. But that's another story we're going to talk about. But I just want to make it clear that there's a flip in this that needs to get out of this immigration question, because immigration is not the biggest issue. The question is to pay people fairly for the work that they do, and to bring anybody who wants to come here, come on with it. I know some people that need to leave. You got an immigrant who's the governor of this state. What a nerve of an immigrant. And still can't speak English very well. He needs to be in the English as a second language class. Or Nazi as a second occupation class. We have the lowest employment rates among blacks and browns. Have the lowest employment rates. We have the highest poverty rates. We have the highest. We have the lowest education level. These are the realities that we're living with. 65% of women and children with AIDS are black women and children. Black women dying of breast cancer and cervical cancer at 4 times the rate of white women. Why? Because, oh, you know, I love when people say, the problem with black people, black men dying of prostate cancer at quadruple the rates of most other people, including in the entire world, have the highest death rate by prostate cancer of anybody in the world, black men in America. How is that possible? People say, it's their diet. They're not eating correctly. They need to put more fresh vegetables and fruits into their diets. And that would be organic fresh vegetables. Now, you can't go in the hood and be no vegan.